the Next in Line podcast, where we are helping to prepare you for whatever is next in line. As always, I'm your host, Chance Pitts, and I would like to thank you for tuning into this episode. Guys, welcome back into another episode of the Next in Line podcast, and we have a thoughtful Thursday episode for you today. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little heads up as well. I apologize in advance if you hear anything different in my voice, if it's a little bit scratchy or hard to hear tonight. I'm going through a little bit of allergies, maybe a little bit of sickness, maybe a cold or something like that, but definitely have something going on. It's going to make it a little bit tougher for me today. But guys, we have some important things that I want to discuss with y'all, so the show must go on. But with that being said as well, if you receive value from this episode or any other episode of the podcast, please make sure you are sharing the show with like-minded people who might receive the same kind of value that you have, guys. Additionally, please make sure that you subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on. Make sure you're giving us a rating or review or a like or commenting and interacting with us. And additionally, guys, just do us a favor. Check us out on social media. That's Next in Line Development on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And guys, that's really all we require. I just want to be able to reach the biggest audience that we can. I want to have the biggest impact on the people that we can. And the best way for us to do that is to have those interactions, to have the sharing of the show, to have the subscriptions and the interactions. It helps us pop up a little bit quicker in that search bar like we talked about. But guys, I know that if you've been listening to the show for any length of time, you know that I'm a little bit extreme when it comes to pushing myself to the limits. And between the approach that I bring to my career, the ultra running that I do, the weightlifting that I do, and the efforts in the entrepreneurial realm that I'm trying to go into, and not to mention all the time that goes into the Next in Line movement and the podcast as well, it shouldn't come as a shock that I spread myself pretty thin on a regular basis. And guys, I'm used to operating with very little sleep. I'm used to being pushed to the limits of my sanity, both physically and mentally, on a regular basis. In fact, operating on that edge of sanity has become my new norm in many ways. And I've really, truly learned to enjoy operating at that level. It's actually where I feel the most productive. But the problem is, guys, whenever you're redlining your engine over and over, whenever you're pushing yourself to that limit every single day, all it takes is for one thing to go wrong, one thing to be thrown off, to start having some major issues in your life. And a couple of examples for me in my personal life right now with this would be, for one, this week I've been beat up by allergies. I know y'all guys can hear it in my voice. I know I addressed it at the beginning of the show, but my allergies have put me in a funk this week. They've kicked my butt really, really bad. They've left me feeling exhausted and borderline sick all week long. And it's impacted my work, it's impacted my physical activity, and my motivation to be able to work on myself as well. Then, guys, another example of this would be that I ran a very, very intense race about a month ago, and that huge exertion of energy no doubt takes a very long time to recover from. It takes a long time to bounce back and get back into the groove and into a plan after that. But with all the other ways I've been pushing myself and not really focusing on my recovery, I just haven't been able to get back on my feet running yet, and I haven't been able to get back on a running schedule yet until about this week. And then whenever you combine those two things, I got really frustrated this week whenever I figured out that I could physically start running again, but I was too sick and too allergy-ridden, whatever you want to say, to start that plan. So I got pretty annoyed with everything going on. And guys, I really think it's safe to say that there's been a lot going on as far as wrenches being thrown in my gears lately. And these wrenches have pushed me over the edge, and they've made me have to slow down in order to get back on track and start making progress again. And if you're anything like me, taking this time to slow down really annoys you. It annoys you because you try to operate at peak efficiency. You like to be making progress at all times, and that's a very good thing. It's extremely important to keep your work ethic high and to chase the things that you want to accomplish in life. But there is a time when you have to rest in order to find success. And the reason I thought about this today is because I had something, a higher power, something greater than me that forced me into taking a rest day, and it actually ended up helping me immensely. You see, guys, even though I was very worn out today and I was congested and felt like crap this afternoon, I plan to go for a trail run up here in North Texas where I'm working right now. I was just going to stretch my legs out. I was going to do a nice 5-mile trot. It was going to be something I was very excited for as well because it was my first long run that I've been able to do in almost a month. But when I drove out to the park, guys, I was extremely frustrated to find out that the trail system that I plan to run on, I've actually been looking at this trail system for a couple months now and haven't been able to run it yet. The trail system was, in fact, shut down. So, after some frustration and after some not so subtle mumbling under my breath about things, I decided to get over it, to chalk it up to bad luck, and to decide to go back to the hotel and find a different way to work out that evening. And about halfway back to the hotel, I decided that I would work on my swimming technique at the pool, as I have an upcoming triathlon that I'm going to try to get ready for in July. And I figured that'd be a nice and easy workout that I could extend out over a longer period of time and really get some good effort out of that kind of workout, something I hadn't done in a very long time. However, whenever I got back to the hotel and I walked through the lobby to where the pool was located, I found out very quickly that the pool was closed for renovations. And I got even more annoyed than before. I was very, very frustrated, and I was just annoyed that all my efforts have been thwarted once again. But then I made myself relax, and I made myself come to a realization. I had to look at the bigger picture. I stopped and I thought about how tired and how crappy I felt this week. I thought about how the lack of energy and how I've been exhausted has negatively impacted my work, it's negatively impacted my physical activity, and just my overall mental state. And I thought to myself, guys, something or someone, I don't know what y'all believe or what your belief system is, but something greater than me was telling me that I needed to take some time to recover. So that's what I did, guys. I decided to go up, grab a bite to eat, and retire in my room. And I planned on sitting down for just a minute just to recover and chill out after eating, but I felt myself start to nod off, and pretty soon I woke up 2 hours later. And I felt way better. In fact, as I'm recording this episode, I actually just woke up about 45 minutes ago. And while I was not able to get all the things done that I had on my agenda and had on my power list for today because I fell asleep, this rest was much needed. And I know that with as much traveling as I have going on, I'm going to be bouncing between Dallas, down to Austin, back to Central Texas over the next few days. I know that this extra rest will come in handy down the road. I know that the future Chance will thank the current Chance for taking time to take this little break. And that's what I wanted to touch base with y'all on today on this Thoughtful Thursday, guys. Remember, this is just some food for thought and a little bit of nuggets of wisdom, as I called it in the early podcast. But guys, I want y'all to know that it's very important to work hard and to put in the time and the effort towards your success. It's also important to push yourself to the limits and to discover the things that you are capable of achieving. And guys, it's also important to outwork your competition, to strive to be the best at whatever you do in whatever way you can. These are all very, very important things. However, the hard truth that we don't take the time to realize, especially if you're very, very driven and passionate like myself, is that rest is just as important. Guys, you can only push yourself to the limit for so long. And I got a very good wake-up call for that today. I had run myself into exhaustion between that the workout schedule, and trying to recover from this sickness or these allergies or whatever it is that's kicking my butt so bad. But that rest was something that was truly nice. It was something that was very, very needed. And besides, guys, there's some really good things that happen and some really good benefits that come from rest. For example, rest is essential when it comes to physical activity and trying to get stronger. When you go to the gym and you tear those muscle fibers, or you go and you work out and you tear those muscle fibers and you're trying to make them grow back bigger and stronger, when do you think that actual repair and that growth happens? That's right, guys. That happens whenever you are resting, whenever you're sleeping. Did you know that rest also helps you boost your immune system and help your immune system stay strong so that you can fight off all the issues like what I have going on right now, and so that you don't end up sick like me in this situation I'm in? And guys, rest also helps you to lose weight. It helps you maintain a healthy blood sugar level, and it even helps you have a healthier heart. And guys, we can't forget that rest also helps you stay mentally sharp, and it helps you to maintain a better mood and to even reduce your overall stress levels throughout the day. So with all that information in mind, guys, here's you a little bad pun. Don't sleep on rest. I know that sounds so dumb, but it's so true, guys. Don't forget how important recovery and rest is to the process of you getting better. Don't run yourself into the dirt continuously and into a state of exhaustion without taking the time to recover. If you're not careful, you're going to end up breaking something, you're going to end up hurting yourself or someone else, or guys, you'll just do something as simple as not accomplishing the tasks or the goals at the highest level possible that you know you can achieve, which will lead to issues further down the road. And guys, I'm not going out here and I'm not telling you to go be lazy. I'm not telling you to not put in the effort. I'm not telling you to have an excuse to keep hitting that snooze button. But what I am telling you guys is to listen to your body. I'm telling you to make sure you allow yourself adequate time to recover from the process that you're in. And then once you've recovered, and once you're at a point where you can go and attack and take on the world one more time, then you need to go do that. Because guys, even though we're resting today, tomorrow we're going to go back at it full steam ahead. Guys, we are going to attack the day. And we're going to do everything in our power to win. Because at the end of the day, we aren't just resting so that we can have some time to relax. We're not just resting because we feel like it. No, we are resting for success. Guys, thanks for tuning into this episode of the Next in Line podcast. This has been another Thoughtful Thursday here on the show. Like I said, please share this episode with like-minded people who might be able to receive that same benefit that you have. And also make sure you're checking us out on social media. That's at Next in Line Development on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And guys, always be prepared for whatever is next in line.